Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Hillary Clinton just won't go away, and you know, that's enough to deal with. Every now and then she pops up, like I said in my previous video, comes out of the forest, and decides to say the most ridiculous or dumbest thing of the week or month or of the year. And that's enough to deal with already. You know, my brain, my soul can only handle so much evil. You know, one deep state wicked witch of the West is enough. But of course, you guys can probably guess where I'm going with this. We're doubling up here, folks. Now we have to deal with Hillary Clinton and Liz Cheney. They basically serve the same purpose. I mean, it's just evil incarnate that just won't go away. Liz Cheney, you were voted out. You were defeated in spectacular fashion because you do not represent the people. And yet, instead of taking a hint, she continues to double down and just refuses to go away. Liz Cheney received a very specific mandate from the voters of her own party that she purports to represent. Go away. Literally. Just go away. Go anywhere but here is essentially what the voters told Liz Cheney, and instead she decided that she's going to continue to act on her vendetta and actively try to sabotage Republicans ahead of one of the most crucial elections of our time. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on with this traitorous witch. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so is it any surprise that the Republican Party of Wyoming has officially declared that Liz Cheney is no longer part of their party, is no longer a Republican, when she acts like this? Liz Cheney says, "I'm going to do everything I can to make sure Kari Lake is not elected, even to the extent that she is willing and will campaign for Democrats." Take a look at this.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Kari Lake is not elected.
So, does that include campaigning for Democrats if that's what it takes?
Yes.
It does. Okay, no doubt. All right.
Does it get any more selfish than this? Liz Cheney values her vendetta against Donald Trump and anyone associated with Donald Trump above her party, above her party's politics, above her voters, above the damn future of the country. She continuously goes on and on about my democracy and my American values. She's pretending as if she's standing up for something so much greater than herself, saving the country. By doing what? Campaigning for Democrats and pushing Nancy Pelosi's narrative? That's how Liz Cheney believes she's gonna save America. By enabling the destructive, divisive Democrat establishment and helping them in their path to ultimate power and control. I mean, haven't we seen enough destruction? Haven't we seen enough crazy Democrat policies that clearly don't work and hurt people and impoverish people? Haven't we seen enough of the warmongering elitist Washington class? Apparently, enabling these goons who are currently destroying the country is what Liz Cheney views as her patriotic duty. Spare me the sanctimony, frankly, spare me the crap. You're insulting my intelligence. This whole shtick that Liz Cheney is doing has nothing to do with saving America. It's only about saving her own behind and saving the deep state Washington ruling class that currently only really exists these days in the Democrat establishment because the Republican swamp, the Republican neocon warmongering Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Bush dynasty of old has been essentially flushed. It's yet again another American family political dynasty revolting, frankly having a total tantrum because they're no longer the ones in power. It's the same thing that we're seeing from Hillary Clinton, and it's why these two just, man, they're basically mirrors of themselves just on the other side of the political aisle. Liz Cheney and Hillary Clinton both represent the end of a political era. The Clinton political dynasty is done. The Cheney-Bush political dynasty is done. The late 90s, the early 2000s is over. We've seen the destruction that they have caused with their policies, whether it's Bill Clinton selling the soul of America to China, absolutely decimating American industry, or whether it's the warmongering and failed foreign policy, the never-ending wars and the oil-chasing, warmongering machine known as the Bush-Cheney dynasty. It represents the corporate Democrat and neocon establishment that, frankly, in many ways, worked as one Washington unit, and ever since that glorious 2016 election, they've lost their grip on power. They continue continue to lose their grip on power, especially within the Republican Party, because these swamp creatures are getting drained, they're getting flushed down the damn toilet, and this is the final desperate cry as they're swirling down. I mean, just the audacity, the hubris, the inflated ego. Like I stated in the intro, Liz Cheney doesn't represent anyone. She represents a specific, extremely partisan faction of the Democrat establishment and an extreme, maybe less than 10% of the Republican Party. She does not represent any majority view whatsoever. She was served, as I stated in the intro, once again, with a very specific mandate from her own voters to go away, to literally just get out of Washington. And she responds with, not only am I gonna stick around, not only do I believe that I represent the majority and I'm gonna try to impact the elections, but I'm not only gonna do it in my own state of Wyoming, I'm gonna campaign in Arizona to affect the election results there. Psycho Karen. Hello, Arizona, I'd like to see your manager, is essentially what psychotic break Liz Cheney is saying here. And of course, Kari Lake responded, just as straight to the matter, straight to the facts, just as savage as you might expect. Take a look.
I want to point out what Liz Cheney has said about you when speaking at this Texas Tribune conference yesterday. She says, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure Kari Lake is not elected. Your reaction?
That might be the biggest, best gift I've ever received. I mean, the people of Wyoming can't stand her. I'm pretty much sure that the people of Arizona don't like Liz Cheney. Here's the deal, Maria. The Republican Party, the new Republican Party, is the party of we the people. It is no longer the party of warmongers. And so Liz Cheney probably should change her voter registration. Turns out she really is a Democrat after all.
And Kari Lake is totally correct, and what a great response. And honestly, I agree that might be one of the best endorsements Kari Lake has received. If Liz Cheney is endorsing your opponent, well then considering how deeply disliked Liz Cheney and frankly the Cheneys in general are, that's probably, if anything, going to benefit you. And I think that's exactly what we're gonna see here. I mean, Arizona, the state of John McCain, voted for Kari Lake. Every single district in the primary. Now Kari Lake is leading by a significant margin in the polls against her absolutely terrible opponent in Katie Hobbs. And really, just think about that. Republican Liz Cheney is now on the record claiming that she's campaigning for Katie Hobbs. How completely disgusting is that? But the point that I was trying to get to is that the state of Arizona is no longer the John McCain neocon state that it once was. The state of Texas is no longer the Bush state that it once was. Wyoming is certainly no longer a Cheney state because, as Kari Lake said, the Republican Party is no longer a party of warmongers. It is the party of we the people. The people are speaking, and what we're seeing here is that Liz Cheney refuses to listen. And that's exactly why people like Kari Lake are the future. That's exactly why people like Kari Lake are winning and going to win and probably going to continue to win. It is yet again another desperate cry of a dying political class, a dying political breed. But folks, it's gotten to the point where these desperate cries are falling on deaf ears. They've been spending millions upon millions of dollars. They get all the free publicity and free airtime on all of the major news networks to promote their cause because, of course, they're promoting the Democrat cause or the deep state cause. And yet they're still losing in spectacular fashion. Kari Lake won, Kari Lake is winning. Liz Cheney lost, and Liz Cheney will continue to be a big fat loser. It's basically that simple. You have no momentum, your message is falling on deaf ears, despite the megaphone that you possess, and eventually that voice is going to fizzle out. As a politician, it should never be about me, and my family, and my dynasty, my legacy. It's always about the people. And that is clearly what Kari Lake gets, and it's what entitled political dynasty brats like Liz Cheney will never understand. Throw your tantrums, cry all you want. You're a one-term failed Republican representative, and that will forever be your legacy. Just go away. Clearly, the American voters don't want anything to do with you, and frankly, honestly, the Democrats probably don't want anything to do with you anyways. That's at least if they take a moment to step back and think about it. Think about what a Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney endorsement really means. That's what I got for you guys though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get back to work though. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.